So talking on continuing from the last video of me talking about detachment and understanding it and what it means to be able to do it and how it feels for us. All the detachment comes when we need to remove ourselves from certain things and certain patterns of behaviour, certain beliefs, certain addictions, lifestyle, whatever that case may be that we need to really separate ourselves from, after the acknowledgement of what needs to go, what needs to be removed, or what shouldn't be there, or what's not for us. So there's a stage of the shift that we often call the void, which is like the liminal stage, is where we're all gravitated towards filling. And in those moments we can find ourselves in really uncomfortable positions around things we were almost familiar with. And I'll give you an example of multiple people that are normally gravitated towards being around us, and they may pick up on shifts within us and physically see it. Some can physically see it when it comes to maybe lifestyle choices that you make. Maybe you're giving up on certain addictions, maybe smoking, drinking, if you're a drug user, drugs, whatnot. And after that, it comes with the liminal stage, the void that you find yourself in, where you have to fill that time that you used to, with taking drugs, and you end up replacing it with something else, which is what we all do, which is a constant thing that we all do when we move through, because life is basically made up of pure distraction for us to be, kept distracted from the devil himself, shall we say. The devil makes idle work of an idle hands. The devil makes idle. I don't know. I can't remember the saying. I quoted it on my post earlier on my Instagram. But the devil makes work of idle hands, basically. It's that liminal stage. So we all constantly find distraction and for addictive behaviours that we fill in those moments up, that we need to fill the void. And the liminal is the in-between stages from going from one thing to another, the shift. And what comes with that is the shift in everything around us too, the environment, shall I say rather. The people around us who are normally gravitated towards being around us, maybe connections fade a little, distance becomes a lot more obvious, not only to yourself but to others, not just the ones that are distancing themselves from you, but maybe the others that are used to seeing your connections being close and not seeing them so close anymore. And these are the uncomfortable parts for us. And a lot of people can get it misconstrued and say people are distancing themselves from me or us when we are making shifts. But it's not. It's like when they say God is making room for the new. Or he says, make your enemies your footstool. He's placing chairs in front of a table, whatever the sayings are. We all know what I'm talking about, referring to. I'm a bit tired. But I thought it was an important one to note. After the detachment stage comes the liminal stage. And the changes within that is important to note, because it's uncomfortable and a lot of things shift around us, not just what we're detaching from. And especially that unexpected shifts around us. Like relationships, environments that we used to once find comfort in. Other behaviours that might have been normalised for us to be gravitated towards doing, don't quite feel so comfortable doing anymore. I don't know, maybe you gravitate towards listening to a certain genre of music now because your perspective's changed and the outcomes of your environment's different from the shifts that you've made. The music that you once listened to doesn't quite fit the new, or that liminal, that void that you're in at the moment, or doesn't quite sit as comfortable as it once did, and so there's a lot of shifts that happen, the liminal, the void, and that's what I say, filling it. And filling the void is important with healthy things, or especially with strategic placements, with patterns of behaviour or work ethics or just creative sides of us to get into, to be able to fill the void healthily, should I say. So long short story of all of that is that from detachment of patterns of behaviour, addictions, relationships, work habits ourselves that may be not good for us, we find ourselves in stages and phases, the void, the liminal, the in-between, the uncomfortable shifting. So everything around us starts to change, and also our internal world shifts as well as our nervous system. And that includes things that we used to once find comfort in that we wouldn't have expected to have let go of also. And that's an important thing to note, that many things around us will be feeling different, will shift different, and have a different perspective, not only from our sense but from others around us too. That's an important thing to note. So when people go, oh, you've changed, and you should embrace that and say, yes, I have, and if the people that are pointing the finger maybe making you feel uncomfortable about that change and that shift, maybe not be as wanting of the shifts within you as you would like them to be, and it can be an uncomfortable thing to sit with and want to move through, and and even sit with, and that's why a lot of people don't really detach and can have codependency on others, relationships, dynamics, and addictions into patterns of behaviour and keep us in cycles, because some people have tried to make the shifts and found themselves in that and really can't cope with it and deal with it. So it's an important thing to note that when you do detach and you are breaking the patterns of behaviour, the cycles of addiction, the lifestyle, the habits, that is going to be uncomfortable. You are going to have a void to fill. You are going to be in a liminal stage where you may be in the quiet, you may be forced to isolate, be in hermit mode, and find creative ways to fill that time, or find steps to maybe manage going towards the new goals or what you was detaching from in order to work towards, and it's important to note that we ain't always going to have it figured out. It's not going to be clear cut, and we're not always going to have the exact steps and strategies whilst we're in the liminal stage and we detach. Sometimes it's unexpected that we need to do so, and we can just do it, and they say God just makes you do it like that, or just a circumstance will be like that, and all of a sudden you find yourself in that moment, so it's important that we don't always be expecting of something to be filled automatically with things that we're once familiar with. And the void and the liminal are uncomfortable, and the shifts are very real around us, and things will be very different, not only for us and the way others see us too. So relationships will change. Rooms that we once felt comfortable in won't feel so comfortable, and also won't be as accepting as they once was before. So once patterns of behaviour are broke, addictions and cycles normally change too, and that means friendships and all the above that I just mentioned. And it's uncomfortable. It will be a challenge, and it is challenging. And despite you going through one stage that you have to shift through, there will always be many more until you're very successful in whatever avenue you're deemed to be going towards being successful in, shall we say, And it's important for me to understand this process too, because I'm always learning this as well, because I find myself in liminal stages and voids that I often try to fill with multiple things, and I often find new hobbies to do, because I don't smoke and I don't drink, I don't do drugs or anything like that, and I don't have a partner or anything like that, so I find different ways to channel my energy in the void, and find different avenues to find steps towards going towards new goals that I was detaching from old ones to pursue, and everything around you will change, including the patterns of behaviour from others too. So it's an important one to note that people are taking notes of you as much as you are of them. So don't take it personal when everything around you changes, is what I wanted to say. And expect the uncomfortable, and but embrace it, because new beginnings is the unknown. Is like in the tarot cards, the fool's journey, or whatever case may be that you resonate with or gravitate towards thinking about when it comes to new beginnings and fresh starts and breaking cycles. Everything around you will shift. Tower moments all around, you know, and it's important to embrace that and be ready for the impact of it, and be ready to rebuild brick by brick, and not knowing how to exactly structure what your new building's going to look like in the future. Just know that your foundations crumble, and whatever's left laying is making it easier to build back on top of, because you don't always go from rock bottom, or you're not starting completely fresh, because you have the wisdom and the knowledge and the tools to build and move forwards after, through the liminal stage after the shift from detaching from things that are not good for us, you know. And yeah, if you resonated with anything I've said tonight, and you find comfort in my words, or you think there's maybe value in what I say, then consider subscribing to my channel to hear more from me. This is Craig's Corner. The handle is at Craig Collins 1111, and I'm Craig, and this is a safe space. And if you enjoyed it, again, please consider liking. Please drop in the comments what you thought about the videos too, not just this one but others. Maybe look back. Some of my early ones may look a bit cringe because I was getting used to, you know, talking to a camera, and I still do that. So I often look around and that, and it's because there's no one here with me apart from the camera itself, you know. And it's a testament to me too, to be able to look back on some of the ways that I've grown through, and how I find steps in my liminal stages of my journey, and the shifts that I make from detaching from outcomes and ideas of what things should look like and how they're going to be. But thanks for being here. Again, it's a safe space. You're always welcome. Consider sharing to some others who might find interest in my topics that I talk about, and you're always welcome here, you know. Regardless of position in life, you're not alone, and I'm always going to be here for as long as you need me to be. Go back to the videos, do some comments. I'm on Instagram too, at CB Collins. You can always hit me up there. I share a lot of poetry on there, and if you're interested in my poetry, links to my books. I've got 4 published books. They're all available to buy on Amazon. Links are in my bio here on this page on YouTube, and also on my Instagram, so feel free to go and check me out there, and I'll be appreciative of your support there, you know. And yeah, I've been Craig, this has been Craig's Corner, and I hope you have a good night. Thank you.